I'm here with Lee Merringo at Semper Fi MMA, and Lee has been so active doing grappling. He has his third MMA fight coming up, and he's loving life. He's training his ass off, working hard. Lee, before we talk about the fight and all, talk to me about your path into MMA. What got you in the fight? And like I said, you're grappling all over the place. You've had 2 fights. What brought you into the sport? What made you love it?
So when I first started, I was about 15, 16 years old. I started with Julio Rosario at Semper Fi. I originally got into it because my brother, he's in the Marines, and I wanted to get something like self-defense. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll start boxing somewhere. And he goes, no. He goes, do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's like, 80% of the fights get taken to the ground. Nobody knows what to do about it. So started up, came in here, got my butt whooped by some girls, stuff like that. I got tapped 4 or 5 times, like 5 minutes. Came in with an ego, man. I thought I was going to tear it up, and I ended up getting beat by like a 90-pound girl. I was 150 pounds. So that kind of changed altered my whole mindset, I should say. You know what I mean?
Awesome. So it went from that, you training in here, in a gauge. I seen on your page, you went from a gauge to now you're in here, no gauge, training for fights. Awesome progression. The fighters, and Sean Brady's been in here training a million times, Ian Alston, other fighters come in here. Has that kind of, you seeing that, and did you like, not just self-defense, but did you want to fight when you first came in?
So originally when I first came in, I didn't have any like aspirations to fight, you know what I mean? I just came in to kind of just train and learn as a hobby, because I was playing soccer at the time still. And, you know, it kind of took one step after another. I competed like my first 5-6 months in doing like basic Naga tournaments and all that kind of stuff. And then as you start seeing these guys take fights and do little things, I started picking it up, and I'm like, why not? I said, let's give it a shot. I'm competing already. Started with super fights when I was about 18, 19 years old, doing Fury grappling, super fights. And then we eventually moved on to the cage at 20 for CFFC. I had my first fight. It was at 170 on a week and a half notice. So it was a fun fight, man. It was, all I had was three super fights under my belt for jiu-jitsu. So I already had a little bit under the lights, but I never had any striking fights. It was an awesome experience. It made me who I am, you know what I mean?
How old are you now, Lee?
I'm 22 right now. I'll be 23 April 12th. So we get into my fight. So.
Hell yeah! Hopefully, maybe you'll be celebrating a victory. Talk to me a little about the fight. Listen, this is so young in your career. Isn't like you can watch much film of your opponents. Your opponents are changing every week at this level. You know what I mean? You just want to get a fight. So just talk to me a little bit about the camp and what you guys are concentrating on to get ready for.
So when we first watched video on Ray, he fought Tyler Berger. Again, both wrestlers. One's wrestled up in Lackawanna against Tyler Berger, who was, I guess, D1. So it was a real heavy grappling exchange. Like I said, we're going to be ready for anything. Little things with striking, jiu-jitsu, anywhere it goes, I'm ready. Been getting a lot of good work in down with the guys at Marquez, Semper Fi. Mainly, like I said, a few guys, Pat Sabatini, Cameron Scalio, Christian Bobby, Liam. We got all these guys, Jay Watson. There's a lot of guys. There's a handful of names, man. They're all killers.
Oh, so it's unreal, man. That's that room is just...
It's really talented. You got a lot of guys on there. Even some of the guys I didn't name, like, it's absolutely crazy. Pro and amateur level.
When you say no easy rounds, that's really the truth there. I mean, it's unbelievable when you go down there and you're saying Jay Watson, who's on the card too. What a fantastic team and card. I mean, I can't wait, man. Can't wait. Lee Merringo doing his thing. Art of War, Cage Fighting 41, Valley Forge Casino, April 5th. Lee, give some shout out or some love. People who, have helped you or, are going to be there rooting for you, screaming for you to come home with a victory.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody that's coming to the fight, support. It's definitely been like a rocky road the past 2 fight camps, getting ready for this fight and all that kind of stuff. I want to thank my guys at Marquez, Semper Fi, obviously, my coaches. For a few sponsors, I want to do NRNR screen printing, help me out my fight shorts, obviously. Cargo Freight, Cargo John. We got Rem Acquisitions, Lion, Philly Heat. And I got a bunch of sponsors, man. We're all over the place. But I got more on my phone right now. I'm going to look them up real quick. Hold on one second.
And listen, too, while he's doing that, listen, all you guys out there who are watching, who know Lee, who I know is clicking on this video because he's your guy and you're going to watch him fight, thank you and keep supporting these guys. It's important. When you got a gym in your community, it is such a positive thing. If you have a gym in your community, you should be so proud and so happy because you got healthy, clean living people who would defend you in a heartbeat. So give a shout out for MMA gyms. I love it.
Last two. We got Double M Detailing. That's a big one. And then the CNAP.
Lee Merringo, check him out. AOW 41, baby.
Let's get it. Thank you, Big Bob.